Welcome back to the channel. This weekend I'm back to Minnesota's North Shore on Lake Superior, where the weather is quite a bit different than the previous trip here. It's the very end of November and winter has most definitely arrived in Minnesota's only mountain range, the Sawtooth Mountains. This weekend I'll be sheltering from the bitter cold temperatures inside a beautiful tiny cabin overlooking the world's biggest freshwater lake. But before we get to the cabin, I wanted to visit a North Shore historic staple just down the road, Split Rock Lighthouse. Built between 1909 and 1910, with construction beginning on it in June of 1909 and the light being put into commission in July 1910. Back then, the lighthouse was absolutely needed after a 1905 storm that wrecked numerous ships in that area along the coastline, forcing Congress in 1907 to grant funds for the construction. But after the inventions of certain technologies like radar and GPS, the need for the lighthouse became no more and was decommissioned by the U.S. Coast Guard in 1969. Now the lighthouse has become a state park and a real icon of Minnesota's North Shore. The light is now only lit one night out of the year on November 10th, honoring the 29 crew members of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which sank on November 10th, 1975.
All right, out at Split Rock Lighthouse. It has been a long time since I've been out here. It's probably been 6 or 7 years since I first started the Superior Hiking Trail way back. So it is really cool to be out here today because it's snowing slightly and I am all alone. There is one car in the parking lot here at Split Rock Lighthouse and I'm second. Who knows if that one car is an employee? But it is pretty cool to be out here with a little bit of snow. And for this adventure, having a cabin stay when it's freezing cold out here, like right now, it's probably 15, 20 degrees, pretty chilly, but I'm gonna have a nice warm cabin to go back to. The plan for today, I think, is going to be maybe to hike up there. It's called Day Hill. There's a pretty cool spot up there with an old chimney where an old man at one point was going to build his house up there. As far as I remember, he went off to the war and then just never came home. Obviously didn't make it. So, but his chimney up there that he started still remains. So we're gonna take a hike up to Day Hill and see if we can't find that chimney. Still on my hike to Day Hill, but this is kind of another cool spot at the park where you got this little cove here and you got Split Rock Lighthouse right there. So it's kind of a cool little spot to be. You got another vantage point of Split Rock Lighthouse, and then you also have this island out here which is pretty cool, and they got picnic tables and all kinds of stuff out here so that you can hang out and spend the day out here if you want. And what's kind of cool about this island right here and this little bit of land that kind of comes in towards land, there used to be a house out there way back in the day. I've seen pictures in the past from it, and obviously the weather, Lake Superior, just took that house away after so many years. But yeah, it was kind of cool to know that someone built a house. It was like right there in the middle. Like, what a cool spot that would be to have your house until the storms come and take it away. You know, I was just walking the trail saying to myself, I haven't seen any moose prints or bear prints or wolf. I was like, that'd be kind of cool to see an animal out here. And then I see these. Some beautiful bear prints. As you can see, it was not a little guy or girl. So yeah, good size prints. My gloves are extra large is the size in comparison. But yeah, it just kind of obviously walked this trail. Well, that's kind of cool seeing these bear prints here, but I wonder if I'm gonna see anything. That'd be kind of cool. But I guess I'm just gonna follow these prints all the way up to Day Hill, because it looks like that's where, nope, never mind. Looks like he went right down through here, off into the woods somewhere right there. But to be honest, all that traffic, that foot traffic, that looks very fresh, like within the last couple hours probably. So that's kind of cool. They're out here. Still on my way up to Day Hill. I'm the only human footprints out here. This particular area, it almost seems like I've encountered a bear and a moose with these prints. These prints right there clearly look like a moose. You can see the hoof prints right there that are very big. It's definitely not a deer. And then you also have these flat prints right there that kind of, those definitely resemble bear. And then they get bigger as you walk up this way. Yeah, these are definitely bear now that I'm walking further up. So yeah, this little area, I caught moose and bear prints. So that's kind of cool. Pretty good view up here too, just not a whole lot you can see through the trees, but almost there. All right, well, I'm being stopped again. Literally the summit is just right past there. But again, now I'm seeing what looks to be fox prints. So definitely a lot of wildlife on Day Hill. I'm hoping I go up to the top of this Day Hill and I see a fox, a moose, and a bear. Okay, made it up to Day Hill. Definitely was not an easy hike. It's pretty steep coming up here, and the snow is a little deeper than I anticipated, or I probably should have wore ice spikes, but I made do. But it's kind of cool. You can see Split Rock Lighthouse from up here. I don't know if you can see it. I'll show it on the camera, but it's kind of cool. You can see Split Rock Lighthouse up here. You got this beautiful fireplace, and you got this gorgeous view. Beautiful. And from what I remember when I was up here the last time, when it wasn't snow, I think it was fall. Yeah, it was fall when I was up here. This whole area in front of the fireplace, it's all rock. So I'm not sure how he was going to build his cabin, but yeah, this would have been a good spot for a view, but there would have been no good way to make a foundation unless you're drilling into the rock in some way. But there's also this big giant tree down. There's usually a lookout spot right behind this tree. So I'm gonna see if I can get around this tree and check out the lookout spot. Well, I just read that little board right there, and it said that he stopped building the house because that the girl called off the wedding that he was building the house for, or the wife, the girl he wanted to marry, called off the wedding and stopped. But I had heard somewhere else before. I know I have heard somewhere else before. I'm not even sure where then, that he went off to war and just never came home. But I'm at the lookout spot. This is pretty sweet. It's even sweeter to be up here all by myself. This is gorgeous. So I'm gonna hang out for up here for a little bit. This was kind of the goal for the day to get to. I'm gonna hang out up here, check out the views, then I'll head down and head over to the cabin. the night. This cabin is beautiful. And what's extra special about this cabin is it's got like full plumbing. It's got a flushable toilet, it's got a full shower, it's got a sink. So this is definitely cool. And my original plan was to go out there and start a fire and have a little fire. I brought a bundle of wood, but it just doesn't look very inviting out there. It's cold. It is really cold outside. So I think I'm gonna hang out inside here, watch the Vikings game that just starts at 3 o'clock. It's around 3 o'clock right now. So I think I'm gonna do that, and then I'll probably start to make dinner. I'm gonna make a little extra special dinner tonight for being in the cabin. This cabin actually is kind of at the high end of my budget of what I want to spend for a cabin. But this was actually, I decided to do this like as a birthday present to myself. When I booked this, it was the weekend of my birthday. So I was like, you know what, screw it, let's go for it. You know, it looks beautiful, and it is. So like I said, I'm gonna relax here for the next hour or two, just kind of hang out. And then I'm gonna start making dinner, and eventually, probably after dinner, I'm gonna get into that sauna. That thing looks super inviting. So I'm definitely gonna do that tonight, and then just have a nice, relaxing, chill night in the cabin. All right, dinner is served. This is a meal that I kind of made special for myself on this occasion because this was my first birthday without my mom, as I've said in a previous video, but this was my mom's favorite meal that I would make for her. Before she went into assisted living, this was her request for me to make as her last meal before she went into assisted living was my enchiladas. So being it's the first birthday of mine without my mother around, I figured I'd kind of honor her and make her favorite meal and have that for my birthday dinner. So good. Not a lot beats my enchiladas. You know, it's nice in here, but this window, you feel the cold coming from it. So I'm not gonna stay in here too terribly long unless it heats up really good in here, but right now it's just really hot from this point that way, but right where that bench is and back, it is definitely chilly. I'll tell you though, just that walk from the cabin into the sauna was insane. I was uncontrollably shivering. I'm dreading going back. It's gonna be a mad dash to go back into the cabin. It feels like it's 10 degrees out there with a wind chill of 0. I think the low tonight is supposed to get to about 5 degrees. So I'm sure it feels pretty close to 0 out right now, but it's definitely going to be a chilly one tonight. So it's like I said, a mad dash for the cabin, turn the heat on, or turn the heat up in the cabin and hunker down for the night and stay cozy in this 0 degree weather.
All right, just kind of sitting around and relaxing, watching some YouTube videos, watching some football on my phone.
I can actually watch some stuff on the TV, but I'm kind of using the TV as my fireplace.
So it's been nice kind of sitting, just looking out the window and seeing how cold it is out there and how warm it is in here. But I am going to just relax for the rest of the night, turn in and wake up in the morning, make some breakfast, and then get out of here. But hopefully I don't wake up cold, because it is going to be probably 0 degrees when I wake up. So we will see how cold it is in the morning.
Alright, well, I'm all wrapped up and got the cabin all cleaned up, so I'm getting ready to head out. Sun's up and shining bright on the North Shore over Lake Superior, so that's nice. This was a nice place. Like I said, a little bit on the high end of spending what I like to for a cabin, but it was for my birthday, so it was like, whatever. Definitely had a good time. Very peaceful here, very quiet. It was nice. So I'll have to come back for another stay. There's 3 other cabins in this area. There's 2 A-frame cabins, and there's another cabin like this that's not a view of Lake Superior, but back in the woods. So you can definitely check out those. It is Superior Hideaway, I think. Yes, Superior Hideaway is the name of this place. So check them out, rent a place out, have yourself a good time over here on the North Shore. You won't regret it. But as for me, I am out of here. I am calling it. See you on the next one.